camera test of Canon R50 V. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back on board. This time beautiful jewel of the seas. I'm Vlad and I'm videographer who also works as a head broadcast technician on board Royal Caribbean cruise ships, and right now I'm under another contract, sail through Southern Caribbean out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and following good tradition and this video I want to tell you a little bit about the ship, about the ports of call that we are sailing to, and also we're gonna cover broadcast operations here on board Jewel of the Seas. For example, right now behind me you can see one of our satellite antennas. To make this video useful, let's consider it as a camera test of Canon R50 V that is filming me right now with 14 to 30mm kit lens. So while it's still on the camera, let's walk around the ship, grab some shots and do a quick tour. Jewel of the Seas is a Radiance class cruise ship built in 2004. She carries around 2,500 guests and about 850 crew members. With 12 passenger decks, it's classic Royal Caribbean ship, a bit different from the mega ships you can see today, but like I always say, there is still more than enough space and places on board for guests to have a great vacation. Like most cruise ships, you've got a pool deck with a big screen, bars and restaurants, a casino, a sports court, mini golf, and of course the main theater and more. But one thing that makes Radiance class a bit different is that we actually have a dedicated movie theater on board. And it's pretty similar to small or mid-sized movie theaters on land. As a broadcast team, we are also responsible for running the movies here with up to 5 screenings a day. This is the technical locker for the cinema. This is where all the control equipment is located. We use it to schedule and manage the movie screenings, including automatic start and end times. This is the Jewel of the Seas broadcast center, our workplace, our office. If you are really interested about broadcast operations on board cruise ships, please check previous videos on my channel. I have covered this topic a lot in the past, and to be honest, I don't see a point to talk about this once again. Let's better take a closer look on Canon R50 V camera, which is kind of our main topic for today's video. And in order to do that, let me switch real quick to the DJI Action 4. Okay, this is the hero of the occasion, Canon R50 V with this 14 to 30mm kit lens. Of course, this camera lacks inbuilt image stabilization and there is no electronic viewfinder here, which is absolutely fine for me because this helps to make this camera smaller. It can provide me with 10-bit video just out of my pocket. It has all the connections that I need, microphone input, headphones. Although it's a micro HDMI, I don't care too much because actually I don't use it on this camera. I bought the second original battery straight away. The first one, kit lens, I already told you about, and this one that I wanted to buy for a long time. So this is the tele zoom lens, 18 to 150. Just check how small is that. Plastic mount doesn't scratch the camera mount too much. Latest lens that I received, it's actually the full frame, very famous Pancake, also RF lens, but this time, as I said, is a full frame lens, 28mm f2.8. It just sits so beautiful on this body. Just take a look. That's just beautiful. It's so nice to have this setup while you're just browsing around new places, make some street photography, or even film the talking head on the tripod with this lens. Is just great. One more lens I have, guys, but I'm not gonna tell you right now which one is that. I'm gonna talk about this in more details a bit later, but it's just one fun and interesting piece of gear that I have. Last thing, Moza Mini P, this little transformer that won't be able to handle heavy camera, but just perfect for Canon R50 V. You already saw some footage when I was walking around the ship, and it's pretty much it. I will be filming this entire episode 10-bit Canon 709, which I might be called later like a Rec 709, whatever. Southern Caribbean, Canon R50 V, let's go! Since we are currently sailing out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, let's keep things in order and start the trip from here. The cool part about Jewel of the Seas at this itinerary sailing out of San Juan is that crew all on board time is 6 p.m., which is huge. For example, on other ships it can be 3, 2, sometimes even 1 p.m., which is definitely not enough to explore those places, but here in Puerto Rico is just great. So this morning I wasn't in a hurry, I have done all my things on board and I got off the ship afternoon, and right now I'm in old town of San Juan, and right behind me you can see the new downtown. There is also an amazing beach. I already have been there last time taking some footage. I actually have a nice video about San Juan a couple of years ago. That video was shot with Blackmagic cinema camera, so just have a look at that video. I'll leave the link in the description. Today is Saturday, so the locals just chilling, making barbecue, having a good time, and I also trying to have a good time taking some footage with my camera.
Here's a quick slow motion test in 120 frames per second. Now I've switched back to 4K 10-bit. Just a reminder, I'm not using C-Log for this video, I'm shooting everything in Canon 709. Puerto Rico is different, and if you are wondering what most of us crew actually do here, well, I go to Marshalls and Walmart. That's the best entertainment for us here.
And now it's time for the mystery lens, which is attached to the camera right now. I will reveal this lens in the end of this video, and I'm pretty sure if you're familiar with this lens already, you will guess it easily. Or if you never deal with this lens, yeah, it might be a bit challenging for you, but anyway, give it a try and drop me a comment what you think this lens is.
Okay, switching back to Canon lenses and heading back to the ship. Here's the porch of my sweet home away from home. A late departure around 8 p.m. gives us great conditions for a low-light camera test. Also notice how the ship basically turns into the world's biggest camera slider or dolly shot here. Paired with a telephoto lens, it creates super smooth cinematic parallax. We've docked in Sint Maarten. During our contract we don't really have days off, and most mornings there is always something going on. Filming, tech runs, rehearsals or other work for us. We usually get a break after lunch, so there is no point staying on board. That's the perfect time to get off the ship and go for a walk.
Sint Maarten, very well-known place for the cruising crew. First of all, for its real duty-free, really cheap, not like those duty-free in airports or on board the cruise ship. The alcohol and the cigarettes are really cheap here. Also, nice beach, cutie, downtown with all these stores. We keep taking some shots around, taking advantage of this beautiful cityscape. Hey, boss.
All right. We bored with the family. Lime in the paper cup. Kids got the poolside badges. Mama got the drink, pass up. Wives and little ones out on excursion, chasing island fun. Me and my two best friends stay back, just drifting in the sun. Blue water on my shoulder, cabin door swing shut. We left the cold behind us. Now we coast, now we cut. Foot on the rail, feel that breeze. No rush today, just see and eat. Names on the map, we want both sides. Dutch side, French side, let the whole world slide. Sint Maarten, we feel so easy. Sint Maarten, the sun stay greedy. Drink glass up, we toast that moment. Sint Maarten,
I hope you guys are keeping track on the lenses I'm using for these shots. I'm basically only switching between two, the Canon RFS 14 to 30mm and 18 to 150mm. We can also get some really nice shots while sailing away from Sint Maarten.
We feel so easy. Stay Martin, the sun stay greedy. Drink, 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 glass on. We toast that moment. Stay Martin, we own this ocean. Stay Martin.
Next port is St. Croix. I love this place for its crystal clear water, but before we hit the beach, let's just take a short walk around town and see what is going on here.
I decided to film this entire episode in a Rec 709. This is my first camera that actually allows me to record 10-bit video just using Rec 709. Even my more expensive cameras that I use for commercial work like Canon R7 or Canon R6 Mark II, they allow me to shoot 10-bit video only using C-Log or hybrid log gamma. So I found this location which I think is good for a test because you see I'm standing in the shade and we have that bright background behind me, so we can check how good is the dynamic range is. Let me know in the comments below what do you think is better, the Rec 709 or the C-Log 3. If all this hassle with the C-Log 3 is actually worth this slight difference between these two modes.
Your jaw the ocean.
Drink package.
Take me to the edge of the ocean. When I set sail and I look out at the water, if you see me, won't you wait? I might ask you for a quarter. And if you wanna catch me later, you can find me on the corner with the dolphins and the sharks and the maidens and the martyrs. I feel the sun, I feel the sun, I feel the gold of this land. The hourglass falls into my hand. I can feel the storm coming with the beat of the drum, with the breath of my lungs and the groove in my bones. I can feel the storm.
Roseau, Dominica, and I climbed to the top of this mountain because from here we have an amazing view to the entire city with the ocean view and the cruise ship, and this is the perfect spot to test my 18 to 150mm lens in a moment, but right now I film myself with a full frame RF 28mm f2.8 lens, which transforms to f4, something about 45mm on crop Canon sensor. Let me know what do you think. You can see that my background is a bit blurry, I guess so, because right now I have ND64 filter attached, which allows me to shoot an aperture wide open. Let me switch to my zoom lens. And by the way, I was here before just with my kit 14 to 30mm lens, so I grabbed some footage from this mountain already, but right now I will mix footage from both lenses, and maybe this will give you the better idea why you actually need this kind of zoom lens while traveling with your Canon APS-C camera. I'm about to get off the ship and take a walk around the city and also keep doing the test of my Canon R50 V, but before I go, I want to give you one more reason why I actually love those small crop cameras and why I actually started to build the setup around Canon R50 V, simply because the camera is so small that it can easily fit in such a small bag like this. For example, PGU Tech 1 Go 3 liters sling bag, and here, as you can see, I have camera with the lens already attached, one more zoom lens right next to it. Also here I have space for the microphones, one more extra battery is also here. Also here we have some compartments and pockets for ND filters and stuff like that. So yeah, if needed I also have an option to hook up tripod here, and I tried it already, it really works and quite comfortable. And also here is the option to put small bottle of water here. And yeah, that's it. Just like that, you're walking around the city or wherever you go, you just open this bag, take your camera out, boom boom boom, you took some shots, put it back, and nobody even noticed that. So yeah, today we're in Bridgetown, Barbados. Let's go out, explore that beautiful place. Who knows, maybe we're gonna meet Rihanna or someone of her relatives.
Sun hit the street, another day, another dollar. Bridgetown beat, rhythm make it holler. Cobblestone cool history in the air. Cruise ship food staring everywhere from the concrete cracks. A flower still grows, island facts. Everybody knows, blue water gleam, a diamond in the rough. Living the dream ain't never enough for Bridgetown, blue oceans embrace. Warm sun on you, time and space. White sand, white, a gentle sway. Bridgetown tide, come what may.
Just to avoid the impression that I'm only walking around and chilling, I will throw in a few shots of us actually working.
We are getting close to the end of this video, and it might be the time for a quick takeaway. And as I already said plenty times during this video, Canon R50 V just such a great piece of gear, and I have so much joy using it. Just maybe only one thing that I managed to discover for now, which confusing me a little bit, it relates to the color modes and the custom presets, because when I'm switching and changing color mode on this camera, it applies to all the custom presets, which is weird because on my other cameras like Canon R7 and Canon R6 Mark II, I can save different color modes for different custom presets. I think you got the point and what I'm trying to say. Other than that, great camera. Before I say goodbye, we have one more thing to figure out, and to do that, let's get off the ship.
Puerto Rico, aquí todo es una película. Turistas buscan al papacito, gente hermosa por la isla entera. Aquí, el aire huele rico, el cielo y el agua azulito. Llegan los turistas a San Juan pa' comprar un magneto.
This is our last sail away from Puerto Rico this season and the only time we are leaving before sunset. This is my kind of vibe. On our way to Florida, we also stopped by St. Kitts. Beautiful place and the perfect time to finally reveal the mystery lens.
The mystery lens is the cheap, plastic, fantastic 32mm lens that I actually bought on AliExpress, I guess for something like 13 euros. Now I checked, it's a bit more expensive on Amazon. In US it's about $25–30, but still it's just nice mount cap that has an option to take pictures and videos for you just because it has that little piece of plastic glass inside. So let me know if you managed to guess this lens when I was asking you about it in the beginning of this video or not. What do you think about Canon R50 V, especially if you have this camera already? What particular purposes you use it for? Just a great little camera to travel or just browse around the city? Subscribe, hit the like if you like that one. Other than that, I'm Vlad, I'm videographer, love you all, see you in the next one, cheers!
Woke up on the road, on my own, far from home, roaming the globe, this my song, where I belong.